The King will be the first to lay his wreath on the steps of the cenotaph. Sir Keir Starmer will do so for the first time as Prime Minister. This weekend is the time to pause and silently remember the sacrifice of so many.
And Sarah is at the cenotaph in central London. We can join her now. Sarah.
Yeah, it's getting really busy here. I mean, you'll know if you've seen the pictures of the cenotaph, watching it on television before, that the pavements get absolutely packed. Thousands of people line the streets of Whitehall, getting as much of a view as they can, but also just soaking in that atmosphere. I can tell you it's very special when the guns go off at 11 o'clock and there's that absolute moment of silence. It's really, really quite sobering. We've got somebody here, Captain Jamie Redfarm from the Household Cavalry, and you are going to be right next to the cenotaph, so a really prime position. And just give us a sense of what's going to be going through your mind. This is the first time that you've been at this particular, the National Service of Remembrance.
Yeah, I think it's just it's an incredibly sobering day today. It's hugely important to remember essentially why we're doing it, and we're commemorating, previous losses of soldiers who have served for the British Army, airmen for the RAF, and then sailors for the Navy. And I see as a constant reminder that freedom in this country is a right. However, it does come at a cost, which essentially is sacrifice at times. And I think this day is essentially the pinnacle of reminding ourselves of that, and it also commemorates essentially that what we're remembering today and how sobering it is for us now, there is a potential that in the future there are going to be current soldiers and armed personnel who are going to be in that position where they are going to be needed to be remembered as well.
How important is it for you when you see the streets here, thousands of people, there'll be thousands more watching at home and going to war memorials in towns and cities across the UK. How important is it for members of the armed forces to know that they have that support?
I think it's vitally important. I think it's easy to forget sometimes that the wounds of war affect everyone, and what that can look like is you have widows, you have children who are bereft of parents. And I think it's desperately important that the invitation of remembrance and support is also extended to them as well as the armed personnel who have fought in wars before. But essentially, I think without today, there is no day in the calendar where everyone knows there's an open invitation. That's why it's vitally important that everyone does celebrate it appropriately.
Just looking at you're relatively new,
yeah.
But you've been delivering military and humanitarian aid to Ukraine. You've been helping maintain security and stability in Kosovo. It's just a reminder that whilst we talk here about First World War, Second World War, really big battles, there are deployments currently of British troops across the world going on all the time, and very varied missions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think supporting the war effort in Ukraine within Europe was, it was a fascinating time, and it was eye-opening as to how much was going on in the wider world. And then when I got back from that, a couple of months later, I went straight out to Kosovo. Two very, very different jobs, and in Kosovo it's mainly about securing a safe environment for the citizens of Kosovo. And I think in light of what's going on in Kosovo right now, I think it's really important to remember that today's the 25th anniversary of the war in Kosovo, and the country still experiences some fractures of that war, and it's still recovering, and it's doing incredibly well with the NATO supported mission with KFOR. But yeah, as you're saying, it does highlight how in the Army, as well as the Air Force and the Navy, there are so many different job roles which come across in ways where they're not necessarily intuitive, and it's a very fast-paced life.
Captain Jamie Redfarm, thank you so much. I know you need to get ready to get in position, so thank you for speaking to us here on BBC News.